but only because you were doing your DJ Khaled impression.
The key to that impression is to have heavy, heavy feet.
Very heavy feet, but
Like you
try to
can't
move
lift
them too much.
Like you've got rubber boots, but they're full of water.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Broverwatch podcast. My name is Adam Cook. As always, I'm joined by Calder Amos Wood. Calder, how are you?
I'm alright. Your teeth look extra white today.
Thanks, man. Oh, wow. That was really nice. That was really nice of you to say.
You know what they say? Bring them up to just to tear them down, baby.
I was trying to come up with something to insult you with, but there's absolutely nothing. For those of you who don't know, the Broverwatch podcast is a podcast where two teensy-weensy little boys come together once a week to talk about the past week of games and news in the Overwatch League. Last week's episode was a little late. My apologies. I was just adapting to the new back-to-school life, and my schedule is very weird, but we should be getting back into it.
Tell everyone where you go to school and what your address is.
No, but I will say I'm in a radio program, and I've been on the morning show, so that's kind of screwed with my schedule a little bit, because I've been waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and I don't like it.
That's kind of hot, though.
No, it's worth it, but I don't like it.
Big spice to it.
It's worth it, but I don't like it. I'm enjoying it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Big spice.
So we've only got one news story today, and that news story is actually quite big. It doesn't really have any implications on Overwatch or the league itself, but it's exciting, entertainment-wise. Mm-hmm. So last year at the Grand Finals in New York, we had DJ Khaled, and it was... Looking back, I'm glad it happened, because it's funny. But I don't want that to ever happen again. So, for a sec I was about to tell you to sit down, because I thought you were going to do one of your things again, but you were doing a DJ Khaled impression.
Is my camera flickering for you, or is it just for me?
It was flickering for a smidge. But
Let me do that again?
But only because you were doing your DJ Khaled impression.
The key to that impression is to have heavy, heavy feet.
Very heavy feet, but try to move them too much.
Like you've got rubber boots, but they're full of water.
Imagine you're a child. You know when a child is, there's like a bunch of ants, and a child is just like stomping around like...
Oh yeah, the murderer.
Do that, except pretend that you can't lift your legs physically.
Okay.
And pretend you're doing something with a plan, but there's clearly no plan. Because it looked like he was being like, look at this dance move I came up with. It's like, no.
You're just moving your feet and kind of shaking.
You just noticed a bug on the ground and you're trying to kill it, but your accuracy's bad.
DJ Khaled's a little afraid of flies.
Yeah. Anyway, all that aside, everything will be fixed this year because people were saying it should happen, and he was saying, I'd love to do that. So it was pretty clear this was going to happen. But we finally got confirmation that Zedd is going to be performing at the Overwatch League, which honestly is a good fit.
My favorite Zedd song is the one that goes, ooh, ooh.
I like that one too. I like the one that goes, what?
What?
But jokes aside, he fits the demographic a lot better.
Well, he's a fan too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fan
of the league. That was like the thing about season 1 where they're like, why didn't you just get Zedd?
Yeah, because like he plays the game, and he's actually pretty good at the game. I mean, like he's pretty good.
He's like Diamond or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Trash. I'll be fucking Grandmasters by the time my new profile gets done. Grandmasters DPS. See me in the league, boys.
We shall see. I'm rooting for you.
No, you're not. You want me to fail?
No, untrue. Honestly, if you somehow place Grandmaster or Masters, I'd be very proud of you, even though I'd think there's an error. I'd be like, there's something wrong, but I'm happy for you. But, yeah, so...
Is my shit flickering again?
Not on my screen.
Oh, so it's just for me. I'm a cuck then.
Okay. But, yeah. he plays the game, he watches the league, and he fits the demographic a lot better because I don't know. Like I'm not an EDM fan myself, but I would definitely get more entertainment from an EDM concert.
You want to know something funny?
What?
I googled Zedd. First thing that came up, League of Legends champion. Second thing that came up, a video game by.
Did you use 2Ds?
Oh, it's 2Ds?
Yeah, it's 2Ds.
There we go.
There you go.
German-Russian record producer.
Nice. But like I feel like he also cares more than DJ Khaled did. Cause like I even watched DJ Khaled's like Instagram story from that day. He was like, "We'll go watch League. Love New York." And I'm like, first of all, Overwatch League isn't one syllable. Overwatch League. Second of all, he doesn't care. Whereas Zedd, I feel like he's going to want to put on a good show, especially since he probably knows that last year's was abysmal. So I'm excited. So that's the news. That's all the news that we really have. I guess we never really mentioned. I guess we didn't have the chance to mention who won the awards. I guess we can just run by that. Custa won the Dennis Hocklow Award. It was basically between Custa and Gamsu. Both deserving, but Custa's good choice. The little video featurette they made of him made it seem even more like a good choice. Because the main thing that made me go, yeah, Custa's the right choice is when someone pointed, I think it was, I forget who it was, but someone pointed out that like he was benched for like the entirety of stage 1 and part of stage 2 or something, and he didn't complain once. Like most players, when they're benched for a while, they like make at least one tweet or like one comment or something like that about them being benched. Custa didn't complain once. He just like kept practicing, kept scrimming, kept like streaming. Like
everyone else talked about him not being playing, like how Custa was too big brain, but he didn't say anything.
His brain was
too
big.
He just still did his little show.
Yeah.
Custa News or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, so he won the Dennis Hocklow Award. MVP was
also
Sinatra.
The whole charity thing was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was another thing.
For like $6,000.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, Custa's a good boy. He deserved it. And I had a feeling when everyone was saying it was going to be Gamsu, I was like, Custa's just going to be the guy who is always in the talks to win that, but never gets it. Because he was also like...
Well, I didn't even really get Gamsu either.
Well, it's just because like he's like a very like positive figure, and like I forget who it was, but someone was like trash talking him on the on like in ranked.
Oh yeah, and then they went.
And then he was like, "Hey, you don't have to do that. Let's go for a hike." And it's like, what a leader. So
what a silly thing to do, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad Custa got it. And then on to the MVP. Sinatra won it. That seems about right. We were saying he deserved it more than anyone else, probably. And then Hacksaw won Rookie of the Year, which
probably should have won MVP then too. But
that is a thing. Here's the thing: a lot of people are saying that, like, how could the Rookie of the Year not be nominated for MVP? And how could...
Oh, yeah. I meant nominated, not won.
And then how could, like, the MVPs who are technically rookies not win Rookie of the Year if they are MVP quality? And to that I say, whatever. Well, first, the MVP thing is dumb.
I think it's a flaw in their...
But also,
awards rules or, like, whatever. Maybe they have some idea of what the awards mean that they haven't put out to everyone widely.
Well, on one side, the whole MVP thing was dumb. How it was just 5 and it was decided after stage 2. That was dumb.
That really doesn't even happen in any other sport.
But
maybe esports do that.
On the other side, in their defense, literally like 60% of the league this year was rookies that aren't really rookies.
Yeah.
So there's no real... It'll be a lot easier next year. Because like there's not many people who aren't signed to an Overwatch League team who I can think of who have been playing for like since launch. or like not playing since launch, but like been in the competitive scene and like known since launch. So like,
Yeah.
I think this year was just a weird year for the Rookie of the Year award because it's literally anyone who came this year.
Yeah.
So honestly, I have no qualms. I think
I would have just made it like an age range, and this is their first year in the league, like
Yeah.
18 to 20 or something. But I guess
Yeah.
that still would have been a large percentage of the people that joined the league.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those Korean guys are pretty young.
I don't know. You and I talked about how like I think we mentioned like Hacksaw probably deserved it, but also if we were going for actual like Rookie of the Year, probably Violet was what we were saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Haxel wasn't like... Haxel's like been on Runway since he was a
wee lad.
I was thinking also maybe... Who the fuck was I thinking? Oh, like Nero.
Oh, yeah.
Because Nero wasn't really like on a team, you know?
But like, I think
like Jonak last year, where he was just kind of off ladder. He wasn't...
Yeah.
From.
I think the one name... Oh, yeah, and then there were, like, Roll Star winners.
I found those slightly dumb.
They were a little weird, because they weren't really awards. They kind of just went, these people were good. And then everyone's like, yeah, you're right.
It was like an all-star team, except their all-star team rules weren't good, because they had Sinatra on there, even though he was good at Zarya, which is a tank.
Which, by the way, this is where my qualm is. One, Rascal didn't win anything. He was honorably mentioned in the Roll Stars thing, and that's the only recognition he got this season. And a lot of people are going, well, yeah, well, for half the season he played Brigitte and Baptiste. That's not damage, so he's not going to get the damage award. Well, sorry, but Hacksaw won the damage award, and he's played mostly Brig all year. And Sinatra won also, and they literally cite his Zarya stuff in the damage award. Same with Hacksaw with his Brig stuff. So what a dumb excuse. Rascal, most underrated player in the league. Not amongst the community. I think the community all agrees that Rascal's pretty insane.
Who is he underrated by then?
I think he's underrated by whoever chooses these gosh darn awards.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's underrated by the desk at all. And maybe a little bit. But
well, they probably have some influence in the awards.
He just doesn't get enough, like, not he doesn't get enough. He gets, like, no recognition at all. And he is my MVP. I know you and I said Sinatra probably deserved it the most, which I would agree with. But Rascal is my MVP. I'm going to put it out there. I know we've said it a billion times.
You want to kiss him, too?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so let's go through last week's games and what our predictions were. And we're not really fighting to win this one because we like both agreed on it. So Titans versus Soul. No, Titans versus Soul. Titans versus Soul. We both voted Titans. Titans won. Spark versus Gladiators. We actually picked Spark. And Gladiators won. Mainly because we didn't expect Surefour to be so good. Same with Hydration.
Yeah, that was a very close one.
Yeah.
But Surefour and Hydration absolutely popped off.
Yeah. London versus New York. We predicted New York, which was true. I don't think we expected it to be as lopsided.
Yeah, it was a major crusher.
Yeah.
London looked like little wee boys who didn't know what they were doing at all.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to be there.
Atlanta versus Shock. We both predicted Shock. I did say that there was a lot of upset potential, and there was an upset. This was probably one of the closest games I've seen, because it literally ended with Atlanta having, I think, 3 people dead, and the 3 people alive had like 10% health. Mm-hmm. But Atlanta, Shock were off the point.
You do that if you played that out like 10 times. Shock will win 9 of them.
Yeah,
you know,
it just happened. It was just very specific circumstances.
Gator had a massive rock on the Moth that made it extremely difficult, and then there's the big boops, and
then Erster
people were
was
just
like
running
flanking
away.
behind, and everyone went.
Yeah.
Basically, it was pretty unlucky. It was one of the closest things ever. Probably the worst C9 I've ever seen.
Probably
Like
in Overwatch League.
as far as implications, like Shanghai literally just walking off the point, and like Florida also doing that. Those are worse as far as like mess ups, because you literally walked off the point. It's not like San Francisco was like, oh, they're pushing the payload.
Yeah, like San Francisco won that map, except they didn't end up winning. You know, because they held them for 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. So, but Atlanta won out, so that was very good. Good for them. So we got that prediction wrong. Seoul versus Hangzhou, we predicted. Oh, this is where things get weird, because we didn't think there would be a Seoul versus Hangzhou because we predicted Hangzhou win. So, Dynasty versus Gladiators actually happened, and we predicted Gladiators. So in a way, that was
Here's the thing: we don't have to follow the predictions for this.
Basically, here's the end result. Okay, for these games don't matter because we didn't know who was going to face who. But what matters is we predicted the 2 correct teams to be knocked out, which was London and Dynasty.
The 2 play-in teams too.
Yeah,
Trash Boys,
which is kind of funny.
From the gutters.
Because Dynasty, it's kind of funny because someone made a post that it's actually very likely that everybody places at their seed coming into the playoffs. Because what?
Is that what happened?
So far.
Huh.
So, like, XL will probably beat Gladiator, or like has a good chance to beat Gladiators, which would knock them out. Spark have a decent chance to beat Rain, which would knock them out. And then New York will probably beat Spark, which would knock them out. Titans could beat Shock, possibly. I don't think they will, but could beat Shock, which would put Shock to the finals. Or no, would put Shock down, Titans to the finals. And
Shock
then
are already down, so Shock would be out then.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my predictions right now. So yeah, these literally everything I said can't happen because that's not the teams that are facing each other. Basically, what I'm saying is my brain is malfunctioning. Anyway, the point is everybody could very possibly face the teams. That anyway, so those were our predickies. We did okay, honestly, considering. But now let's look at next week.
So we've got our first game starting in about an hour 45.
Yeah.
We've got the Rain versus the Spark.
So we should clarify, this will probably go up after these games have happened, but we are making these predictions before they're happening. So Rain versus Spark. What do you think?
I want the Rain to win, but I'd be scared of the Spark if I was the Rain. Because the Spark, as we know, there's this, what I'm calling the Spark theory, where they just kind of climb and climb until they're really good.
Yeah. Because Dynasty looked really good against Guangzhou.
They've played 2 games, which is kind of what it takes for them to get into what the meta is historically throughout the stages.
Yeah, what was the score on the Seoul Hangzhou? Yeah, Hangzhou kind of clapped Seoul.
So
and Rain had a close game against Shock, and not a close game, but not a clap by New York. So,
well, Rain didn't really know how to. New York's little bastion strategy just is working very well until it doesn't. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. They're playing.
I see a potential for Spark to win, but I trust Rain's ability. Because here's the thing, they do really well when they're underestimated, and then once people, I feel like this is the story with most teams. But yeah, they do well when they're underestimated, and then as soon as everyone's like, the Reign are actually really good, then they start to do bad. I guess that didn't happen in Stage 4, but they also had a somewhat easy schedule. I'm going to predict the Reign.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm gonna say Spark.
Okay.
Because...
What are the games happening
I don't know. I think the Spark are a really good team.
Okay.
That said, for me, it's kind of a coin toss.
Yeah, I also agree on that. Okay, so then let me do 2 of these.
You don't have to do 2 of them. We don't have to make the brackets.
No, I'm just doing this so that I can see what teams are facing who in our predictions. Gladiators versus Shock. What do you think?
I think the Shock win. I think there's a small chance that the Gladiators would beat them. Because even when we've seen the Shock look like they're losing, they win. Like against London.
Yeah. Like, their first map was tough, and then they went, oh, we forgot we're good. And then they just clapped.
I was watching the VOD, and I was like, okay, so I know Shock wins 4-0. But I was watching the first map, I was like, are they just going to fucking lose this? Even though I knew what happened.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing when you're watching a movie and you're telling a character not to do something that you've seen them do every time you've watched the movie. Except it's like, oh, please don't lose this. Even though you know they're somehow going to bring it back. Yeah, that was a rough...
the flashlight.
That was a rough map for them. And like you and I kind of talked, I bet if they lost that first map, there's a high probability that they lose the game.
Yeah,
just because it was a full mental thing. Because you could see it on their faces before that map. They were like, oh, we have to win. And then after the map, they were like, oh, guys, we're really good at the game.
We're good, dude.
Yeah.
So I think, do you think the Shock win too?
Yeah. I think Gladiators have potential because Surefour is just absolutely nut. And same with, and Big Goose and Shaz and, basically, their whole roster has been doing well, but like mostly Surefour and Hydration have been doing well. But I think Shock overall better.
I think the Gladiators tanks are going to have a rough time against the Shock because Roar and Void have been just good enough.
Yeah,
like Surefour and Hydration.
They don't work as well together as other teams' tanks do.
Yeah,
and they even put Hydration on tank a couple times. And Reinforce was kind of highlighting what the difference was between Roar's Sigma and Hydration Sigma. And basically, I think it was Hydration Sigma is more passive, which gives Surefour more room. Or something. Anyway. But like, when you're playing, basically Hydration's insane. This could go either way, but I see it being Shock. Shock just have more depth. They literally played 3 of their benched players against Spitfire and dominated. So
yeah, they fucking boomed them, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. Also, just a real quick side note. What's your opinion on losing team interviews?
I don't really care. I think it's probably good because why not? Like, what's the problem with them?
Unless they're like literally forcing players to talk when they don't want to, I think it's good because it builds. It builds
the Ryujie Hung
like
Toby
character
thing was,
and relationship. Yeah,
the Ryujie Hung Toby thing was probably good for the league, good for the Seoul fans to see, and like.
And honestly, overall. It was probably good for them too, because if that didn't happen, they would have just like wallowed in their sadness. But like it happened, and it made people go, "Wow, they really care." And everyone supported them online and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's good.
Just don't force people to talk if they don't want to, but I don't care if they do.
Yeah. And I think Avast put it best when he was like, this is like what franchising is all about. Seoul fans will now go, these are our guys. These are our guys. And this is why we cheer for them, because they care and are doing their best for us. Instead of just being like, there's a video game player crying on a stage. What a guy. It's like, no, he's crying because he wants to bring it home for his team, which is you guys.
Do you think, because Slasher tweeted tweeted that he deleted after.
Yeah, he said
like,
Ryu
he
Jae
didn't
Hong's the
see it,
biggest
but-
bust in the Overwatch League.
Wait, he said that?
Yeah, that's what his tweet was.
I thought it was more about like blowing up the dynasty.
No, his tweet was Jae Hong is the biggest bust in the Overwatch League.
Nice.
And that was like literally a minute after the interview. He claims that he didn't see the interview, which I believe. A lot of people are like, I
was the
believe him.
interview at the end of a day?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Or
It was the first match, right before London London and Shock.
but like I don't think it's
you can like walk away. But I
impossible
don't
to
think
believe
it
that like he was watching and then like
did
he,
something and then came back and tweeted.
or he like paused the stream and went and tweeted it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It also doesn't matter.
Do you think? Okay, how about this? Separate question. Do you think there's any teams in the league that made the playoffs that you think aren't good enough to, like, they're just kind of stuck in mediocrity where you'd want to blow them up if you were the general manager? You'd want to completely
Still
try
in
again.
playoffs?
No, that would just were in playoffs.
Play-ins included or playoffs?
Let's do playoffs and then play-ins after.
Okay, because play-ins there's more.
Well, I know one. You're one for play-ins.
But playoffs, not blow up, but Spitfire. Probably keep
Change something.
I'd say probably definitely keep Prophet and Fury. Probably keep Gesture.
Mm-hmm.
And then make all of the other guys try out again. Because like Bedosian is probably good enough to stay, but just like make him try out.
Unless it's a Zen thing, because his Zen is good enough, not great.
But yeah, I'd say those are like your core three, and then build around that. Because Prophet deserves better. But other than that, I don't think so.
And then for play-ins, let me guess. I'm gonna say Philly.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have another one? I wouldn't have another one. I don't think.
Hunters might have to, because a lot of players are talking about maybe leaving.
Oh yeah, if the players leave, then yes. But I don't know what the Hunters really are yet. You know?
Yeah, they're kind of strange. I'm fine the Hunters just staying what they are. Dragons just need to figure out what they're doing with their off tank, because like Gigiri and Envy are good, but they don't.
They're not like top.
Yeah, so they keep like swapping, and it's weird. I will say, another playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't blow it up, but Dynasty, they actually have a good roster.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to figure out one or two roles.
Mm-hmm.
And get good coaches. Not that their coaches are bad, it's just they have like 79 coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not amazing coaches. So, yeah. Anyway, we kind of went... What about you? Are you basically the same as me?
London to an extent, like you. I'd probably... Yeah, I don't know. I'd be a little tougher on London if I was doing
You wouldn't even keep Prophet, Gesture, and Fury?
I'd probably keep them, but then it's probably Prophet, Gesture, Fury, Bedosian, and then...
See, that's less tough.
No, but then Bedosian is like... There's a high chance that you get benched if we have someone else. Like, maybe for Gesture and Fury, too. I don't think you really can bench Prophet.
I don't think you can bench Fury either, personally.
Well, like, it depends on what characters they're playing, right? Because if... I don't know. It all depends on what the meta is. But... Jesus Christ. It could be, like, Gesture's your Sigma, and then you find a different main tank or something, if this is still the meta. Or, like, someone who can play...
I doubt it's this meta, but yeah. I see what you're saying.
I know. But you might have to, like, actually put some fear in the players, because they seemed like they didn't even care when they were playing.
Well, that's the thing. None
week.
of them have subs, really. Nuss and Quartermain keep swapping between
guard.
Birdring and guard, but apparently Birdring
is a little child. Imagine losing a playoff series because of a kid's attitude.
Yeah, was a tweet from the London social media manager. But he, yeah, and I feel bad for guard because he's good, but he's not great. So he kind of had to fill in short notice. But yeah, nobody really has a sub at all.
And the subs, here's the thing. Like, every time I've watched London, I watched London during the season. The only thing I would think is Quartermain is kind of just a feeder, which, is fine.
As soon as they brought Nuss in, he did a lot better.
Yeah. And I kind of felt the same way about guard, too. Now, guard, of course, there's like the low practice time and all that, but their substitutions aren't great.
Yeah.
Like, their subs aren't great. So maybe much better subs.
There's been a lot of evidence that if players have a sub, they perform better because they know that they could get benched for that person.
The entire Shock roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The entire Shock roster. But, like, and then in that example, like, it doesn't mean you're not a part of the team. It doesn't mean you're bad.
No.
It just means right now there's better options.
Mm-hmm. And you can eventually become the better option.
Yeah. Like, even Baby Bay, who, like he's doing a lot better now, but when he was on the Shock, they even played him in a couple of games early in the season because they gave everybody a chance.
Yeah.
And then they figured something out, and then they were like, okay, guys, for now, this is what we're doing. And then it changed, and they changed what they were doing. So, yeah.
Anyway.
Back on to the games. So, the only difference is you predicted Spark, I predicted Rain.
Yeah.
So, but in the Titans Excelsior match, who do you think wins that?
Titans, I think.
See, I think Excelsior. Whoa, we're getting some difference here.
I just don't know, like, how well this Bastion strat of theirs holds up against a team that's prepared for it.
I just think, unlike last year, they've realized that they actually want this, and they're really trying, and they put Sabiel in, which is important because he's, like, hands down their leader, and when they don't have him in, they don't look as good. So I don't know. I'm just going to say Excelsior.
I don't think, here's the thing, I don't think Excel wins if they come out with the same strategy. It's been a whole week.
Yeah.
Vancouver's had, like, 100 hours to figure out how to beat the NYXL.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just think the XL looked hot.
Yeah, for a weekend.
Hey, I'm making my prediction. You make yours, cuck boy.
Well, I didn't know I had to agree with you on everything. I didn't know I had to agree with you on everything. Sorry.
No, here's the thing. I was just... You're making that seem like I'm making you agree. I was just saying, yeah, but this is what I think. You tried to convince me. It was pinned on me. It's not me. It's me.
Sorry, Dr. Fascism.
Leave in the comments down below whose fault you think that was. So, in Spark...
Leave a like on this video if it was Adam's fault. Comment down below if it was my fault. Whichever one gets more is getting kicked off.
I don't like that rule. Just comment down below whose fault it is. Because there's obviously going to be more likes than comments. So you gamed that system. I'm assuming you think Shock beat Spark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
I would agree
they beat Rain if they play Rain too.
Unfortunately, I think the same. So that's my prediction as well. Not because I think Rain couldn't beat Shock, because clearly they did before, but because I think Shock was so affected by that C9 that they are not going to let that happen again, and they're going to come better than ever against Rain. I would love it if Rain beat Shock. But it mostly just really bums me out that we're not going to get a Shock Rain finals, because I really wanted that to happen, because that would be the hypest thing ever for you and me.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you think wins in your Excelsior versus Shock losers finals?
Is that this weekend too?
Yes. Wait,
know?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh yeah, because it's just the
1,
grand
2,
final.
3, 4. Nope.
Wait,
Wait. What?
the grand finals are on the 29th, so I guess it's
The losers finals are next week Sunday, and that's the only game that's next week Sunday. Wait.
No,
Yes, that is correct. No,
that doesn't make any sense.
there's only 4 games this week. Nope, 5. I'm dumb. Ooh, my brain is bad. Wait, then what's that game? This week is Atlanta versus Hangzhou, Gladiators versus
So there's
Shock.
the round 3 of the losers on Saturday, and then round 4 of the losers, which decides who goes to the finals with.
So it's everything except
the
the grand
winner.
finals.
Yeah, so the grand finals. So if whoever wins out of New York and Vancouver plays in the grand finals.
You know why I was confused? Because I was on playoffs on the website, and I went to the next week, and it said September 29th, and it was just one, but it's not in the grand finals tab of the schedule. It's just still in the playoffs. So that's dumb. Anyway,
the website's bad. They don't even have a fucking bracket, dude.
It is weird. Okay.
How do you not have a bracket for your own league?
They do. They show it on stream, but they make people screenshot it and put it on Reddit because they don't want to put it on their own website. Anyway, so who do you think wins in Excelsior versus Shock? I'm assuming you think Shock.
Yeah.
And bada bing, bada boom, that ends with you having a Titans versus Shock grand finals. And then for me, I have Titans versus Shock in the losers finals, and I think Shock wins that.
And then it's XL versus Shock?
Yes. Who do you think wins between Titans and Shock in the finals? Shock, right?
I just want Shock to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... Well, here's the thing. They'll both have a couple weeks to prepare for each other.
Yeah.
But how do you even prepare for another team when they have, 2 weeks? Because
it's basically just come with your own strats and hope you can adapt to theirs.
Yeah.
In which case, I think Shock are more adaptable.
Yeah. Especially since Titans are benching Bumper, I guess.
For TZ, yeah. Well, Bumper is a Rhine player.
But, I don't know.
Not that he's bad at everything else. I just think TZ is more solid, probably. He's probably just more reliable.
So maybe they could... what if Bumper's been grinding something, though?
Maybe they pull him out.
Pull out.
But you pick Shock.
Yeah, I want it.
Oh, yeah. For me, I have Excelsior Shock in the finals, and I also pick Shock. I think Excelsior...
Are we fanboys?
No, I just think Shock has been the most consistent, but good team. So...
Even, yeah, because even when they were switching out of GOATs, the Shock were still able to make GOATs work.
Yeah.
In a way.
They lost against Houston, and then we're like, I don't like that, and then they started to do better again. But here's the thing.
All I can tell you is this could be a fucking week for the Shock. They could be playing 3 games this week, and in 3 games in 4 days.
That is weird and tough. Whoever makes it out of the losers bracket is going to have a tough week.
Yeah.
But then they'll have 2 weeks off. Well, not off, but to practice.
Well, yeah.
It's so weird to think we're nearing the end of the season. I still remember when it was the first week and I watched every game, and I was like, yeah, I'm watching every single game.
Mm-hmm. And now you don't give a fuck anymore. You're not even watching the playoffs.
I'm watching the playoffs, dude. I've watched almost every game.
Almost.
How many have you watched?
Almost everyone.
Almost. Ding. Okay, so we both predict Shock wins the whole thing. I was debating whether or not to do grand finals predictions.
We did them anyway, so.
Well, but the reason I did is because there's a good chance that we're wrong with who's in the grand finals. So we'll predict the actual grand finals winners next week, depending on who the actual grand finals winners are. Good chance that it's one of the two ones we picked. Hopefully, it's Atlanta versus one of these teams. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Good.
I mean,
can't be against Shock. It would have to be against New York or Titans.
I don't think Atlanta's going to win this year.
Well, we're going to see.
But we'll see.
Here's the thing. We will see. People will probably call me not a true fan. I want Atlanta to win, but about equally as much I want Shock to win. Because I think that Shock deserve it the most.
Flip-flopping fanboy.
No, this is why. Because I think they deserve it more. Because they were the best overall team this season.
And you're also
Rain are very good at the current meta, and they have been getting better and better. But Shock are the best team of the season. So that's why I'm saying that. Anyway, so that's the episode.
London was probably the best team.
Haha. Anyway, everybody, that was the episode. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Be sure to share with your friends, like and subscribe if you want. Leave a review on whatever listening platform you listen to on, if that's a thing you do. Follow us on Twitter at the Broverwatch. Follow me on Twitter at I'm a Dumb Cook. And follow Calder on Twitter at Calder100. You can find those links in the description on YouTube. Calder is probably the most annoying person on the planet, maybe. But we'll get back to that next week.
Oh, changing my Twitter.
Oh, what is it? Thanks for waiting this long before letting me know.
Calder NAW.
What does that stand for?
Well, some of my initials.
Oh. Calder? Nah. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll catch you next time. Love you. Bye-bye.
See you, bitch. See you, bitch.
All right.
What are you going to do now, cuck?